Alright, so match week 7 of Uefa Champions League concluded last night, where through span of 2 days we have seen some comebacks, some setbacks, and some narrow wins by the teams. So in this video, we'll be going to cover up everything which happened through the 2 days. Not every match, but the matches that are of the major teams and which I get to see highlights of. Of course, going to see every match because timings are of course same, and there are two long list of the matches which any person should be able to watch. So anyway, starting off with the first team, which will be league stage leaders Liverpool. They had a match against Lost Lille at Anfield, and they just need a win to solidify their situation at the top. I mean, if they stay and finish at the top of the league table, they're likely to play team which will be placed in 15th or 16th position and after the playoffs round of 16 will be done. So for Liverpool, they were playing home game. 2-1 was the victory margin against Lost Lille. Liverpool scored first. That came through assist from Curtis Jones, where the ball was won through Tsimikas down in the middle. Brilliant pass coming from Jones to Salah. That's where they scored the first goal from. Salah chipping over the keeper and scores after like 2 matches. He has scored now. So Salah getting into score sheet. After that, there was a leveler coming in from Lost Lille. That was to David. There was cross played inside the box. There was attempt to make a block, but he couldn't get the clearance which should happen from Tsimikas. And as a result, ball went straight to the Lille player, and all he had to do was to put the ball into back of the net. That's where they equalized from. But later on, after a few minutes, Harvey Elliott came on to the pitch and got lucky. And finally, after I think 30 or something corners, Liverpool were scoring a goal from the corner. But that was not a direct goal being scored. That was from outside of the box. Gets a little deflection there. Got lucky, Harvey Elliott, and he earns goal for himself. So good for his confidence, and that did job for Liverpool, which wasn't that crucial of a game, but good to see the players like Chiesa getting game time, Endo getting game time, and likes of Harvey Elliott getting onto a pitch and getting a goal. So Liverpool got a narrow win, 2-1. And other teams getting a narrow win were AC Milan winning 1-0 in their match, whereas Inter Milan, they got a 1-0 win as well. So those were the teams which got the narrow win margins amongst the top sides. And now moving on to talk about the comebacks. First and foremost name that comes to mind is Barcelona, their game against Benfica, which had 9 goals in total. Of course, there was controversial decision that was made towards the end of the match, but it's a comeback. We will consider that as a comeback because final outcome is 5-4 to Barcelona, who at one point were trailing 3-1 in the tie. Hat-trick by Pavlidis gets Benfica to a 3-0 lead, and 1 goal was scored by Barcelona after that. And as we move on to the second half, there were goals that kept happening towards the last 20-30 minutes of the match. And by the time it was the final attack of the game, I mean, that was corner for Benfica, if I'm not wrong, from where the Barca, there was appeal for penalty for Benfica. And from there, the counter comes in, and Rafinha just smashed a goal to the back of the net to get his team the late winner in the match. The decision which was checked by VAR, of course, before that goal happened from Barcelona, the winning goal. It was a bit 50-50 kind of. Could have went either way, and there have been a lot of matches where that particular incident involving the players inside the box, the keeper, and where the tackle was done, being given as a penalty, but not this time. This did not happen, so could have went either way. But most likely, should have been a penalty to Benfica. But we are not going to talk in depth about those things. We are just covering what happened to the match week 7. But anyways, there were mistakes from Barca keeper Szczesny. He done a couple of mistakes earlier in the first half, which resulted in conceding 2 goals, which shouldn't have happened. Had done proper work there around his post and could have given his team a scare as well when that penalty incident happened in the final minute of the match in the injury time. But luckily, things worked out in Barca's way, and they got the winner 5-4, and that was an amazing match. Didn't come back from Barca. Now moving on to talk about the comebacks. One other game where the comeback happened is Atletico Madrid match versus Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen, who were with the 11 men compared to Atletico's 10 men down, because there was red card showed to Atletico Madrid player and they were down to 10 men. From there, they have scored a goal and did the comeback. The main person behind that was Julian Alvarez, whom they signed from Manchester City. A tackle coming in from Reinildo, which was attempt to break the attack by Leverkusen, and the ball went to Atletico Madrid's player, who gave a final pass towards Julian Alvarez, and Jonathan Tah was struggling there. The other player tried to cover in was Grimaldo. He couldn't stop Julian Alvarez from scoring that first goal, which was level for them. And later on, as things moved further, there was a red card, double yellow to Hincapi, which shouldn't happen because there was just shoulder to shoulder, and that was wrong decision from the referee, but that resulted in Leverkusen going 10 men down as well, so 10v10. And towards the final minutes in the injury time, I think that was Julian Alvarez who receives the beautiful assist pass from Atletico's player, and he was little wide of, drifts his body wide of the goalkeeper and puts the ball in to make a comeback win for Atletico Madrid at their home stadium. So that was brilliant win for Atletico, a comeback win. Another comeback that happened was the crucial match for City versus PSG. Man City still can qualify because where they are placed, they have to just avoid a defeat and a draw. That's what will take them through to next round. But in this match, City, who were leading 2-0 in around 54th minute, they scored quick goals in 3 minutes. First goal coming in from, I think, who was the player, Grealish. And later on, the second goal, which came through, I think that was coming from Erling Haaland. So that's how they scored they got their 2 goals. And later on, as for the PSG, they quickly scored within the next 2 minutes. That was the goal coming in from Dembele at first place. He scored the first goal, which was a beautiful goal coming in as a substitute. He scored that. Later on, Barcola, who previously gave assist on PSG's first goal, which was an incredible assist. He comes in towards from the right hand side. He scored that leveler. And as things progress further, from the set piece, they scored the third goal. Neves, he puts a header down in, and that made sure they are on the lead. And while things move further towards the injury time, there was a goal that made sure City are at least not getting a point from the match. That was Gonzalo Ramos getting a goal in the game, which ensured PSG are winning it 4-2. So all smiles and comeback for PSG. They were in their match. And City can still qualify because they are currently at 25th position with 8 points. If they get a win, if they get 3 points, they will be on 11 points. And since PSG will be playing Stuttgart, and both the teams are leveled on 10 points each. So even if there is a draw there, City still have a chance with the goal difference that they have, which is leveled up to 2 as compared to PSG's 2. And Stuttgart is having -1, so still City can qualify. And talking about qualification, Real Madrid has also qualified courtesy of their 5-1 massive win, where there were braces coming in from Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. Mbappe also scored a goal. So win for Real Madrid, and it was expected that will make it through to at least to the playoffs, if not in the top 8. So they'll be playing in the playoffs for round of 16. That's how things are for Real Madrid. And for the setbacks, of course, the one match we just talked about, Man City, that's a setback for City, but still they can qualify for the next round. With other results which were little unexpected, Dortmund losing to Bologna, who hasn't done too good in the league stage so far. Seven matches, they have gotten 5 points. Before the Dortmund game, they only had 2 points, which came through multiple draws which they have had. So not in such a good form, and they win over Dortmund 2-1. That was a bit of a setback. Still, Dortmund are through to the next round of the Champions League for the playoffs round of 16. And so is the case with Bayern Munich, who suffered a 3-0 loss to PSV. So that was unexpected. Not to PSV, that was against Feyenoord. 3-0 loss away from home. So that was poor performance from Bayern Munich, but still they have qualified for the next round, which they will be playing the playoffs. And another result which was a draw, I think Juventus getting a 0-0 draw. That was against Club Brugge away from home. And even though they have qualified, draw is not such a good result for them, getting away and having a draw against Club Brugge. who are, I think, are not making it through. They still can make through, but depends on the results of the other matches, which are a bit from the teams at placed at 19th to 24th position, and whatever happens from those 16 matches, it will decide the fate of all the teams which will be making through the next round or not. Of course, City is still there to make a cut through to the next round. So is Dinamo Zagreb, and Shakhtar can still make it through the next round. So those are the only teams, 6 and 3, 9 pro teams in total who can still qualify for the next round of the Champions League. There is no confirmation for those 9 clubs, but we'll get to see once we are in the final game week of the Champions League stage. As for this video, this would be the whole wrap up of the match week 7. So which was your favorite match of the game week? Let me know in the comments. I personally feel the Barca one was pretty good match of the whole league phase so far, because that's a comeback which didn't look like to be happening at the one point, but they get a comeback 5 goals to 4.